Welcome, I'm Rabbi Phil Bressler of Beit Am in Corvallis, Oregon, and this is the daily summary video for the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch Yomi Daily Halakha Learning Project, covering the passage from Siman 150 Seif 6 to Siman 150 Seif 13. You find links to the Hebrew and English text of this passage and to the calendar of upcoming passages in this video's description. Now, I am sorry to tell you that I forgot to talk about Seif 5 yesterday, so we'll cover it quickly here. As we noted yesterday, this is hilariously awkward and stilted, and really a case in point here. Don't look at your wife's genitals. Kitzur can't even bring itself to say vagina. They call it otomakom in Hebrew, literally that place. Don't even look at that place, and don't even think about performing oral sex. How gross, right? Um, you can't have sex in front of a Torah scroll, in front of tefillin or a chumash or any other holy book. Apparently, even a mezuzah, if it's on the inside of your doorpost, needs to be covered with an opaque cover. As a rule, I'm pretty down on a lot of the ritualized veneration of Torah scrolls and other objects. To me, it's kind of a distraction from the real purpose of those objects, but all the more so when it rises to this level of like almost anthropomorphizing, like counting the Torah scroll as a tenth for a minion, for example. Like this is especially ridiculous. Do these things have eyes that they're gonna like watch you? Like, don't have too much sex. There's something of a relatively prescribed schedule for couples. This is, I think, in some respects, relatively positive. There's at least recognition that women have sexual needs too, and men aren't allowed to shirk their responsibility in that regard. There's a general idea that the more leisure time and the more money you have, the more frequently you can theoretically be obligated to satisfy your wife. Additionally, anytime the husband is setting off on a trip, he's got to be with her before he leaves. And basically, any other time she's in the mood, trying to get his attention, he's got to satisfy her. One's intention when engaging in sex shouldn't be only pleasure seeking. Again, I think this is in some ways positive. Your partner's pleasure also has to be a priority. Presumably, also the intention should be to have children, since that's an important mitzvah as well. Contraception is a thorny issue. We'll talk about some of those issues in upcoming days. Um, in general, overcoming one's lustful desire is seen as a positive thing to do. There's also a fair amount of superstition wrapped up here. Physiological processes were poorly understood through most of the era when this halacha was being codified, and they relied a lot on folk wisdom for facilitating things like having healthy children. So you see things like here, proper intention from the man can have positive effects on the fetus. The timing of intercourse can have positive or negative effects, etc., etc. Kitzur then starts to go into a list, which we'll finish tomorrow, on when not to have sex. Don't have sex if there's a famine and food is scarce and expensive, and having another child would threaten that fragile situation. Don't have sex if she doesn't want to. No marital rape, again, kind of a positive thing. If you are furious with her, the text here says hate. If you hate her or she hates you, don't have sex. If you've already decided to divorce her, but you haven't told her yet, I think again, this is, that's actually pretty good advice. Don't have sex. If she's asleep, again, another consent issue. Or if either of you is drunk. That's all for today. As always, our learning is dedicated to Rabbi Shlomo Gansfried, the author of the Kitzur, and the historical Jewish community of Usharad, Ukraine. See you tomorrow.